Man, fuck off. Boom, edited. Oh, wait, I said headphone. Oh. Nobody heard that. Alright, let me go turn off my fan. Alright. Man, fuck off. Boom, edited. Oh, wait, I said Yeah, it's actually impossible to get anything but a California or an Oregon server right now. Tragic times for the kickoff club community. Are Exquisite and HG on the same team? Am I crazy? Oh my god. Wait, I just realized Barca is going to win the league. I just realized Barcelona has the Docs duo. I think it's actually over for every other team. Holy moly. Check. It's like the I think it's over actually for every other team. It's like you got Frozen Mobs on Ankara Star and Domain, so it's like you got the Asian Xiaoling chemistry plus Exquisite and HG, so you got that like Docs duo powers. It'll actually be over. Star is saying that this needs to start fast because it needs to go poop. Prayers in the chat for Ankara Star, please. So then, interesting for this game today is due to the current state of Roblox, it's actually pretty much impossible to make an East Coast server for NA players. So we're playing all the way in middle of nowhere, Oregon. It's going to be a little bit rough for our NA players and our EU ones. No, not a single person is going to have good ping this game. Beautiful day on the kickoff club pitch. Not a cloud in sight. All these people here to watch these players play. Can you believe it? Even exquisite of all people. People here to watch exquisite play. It's a beautiful thing, really. Bill, our season 3 Ballon d'Or winner, you're putting on a performance this season as well. Freshly back from China, he's here to show us the hidden dragon dribbling that he's learned. Stay tuned for some different frozen ones. Our star, also freshly back from Vietnam, has learned crouching tiger dribbling. Going to see some Shaolin masterpiece. Volcano, of course, will be yelling into VC as he's Volcano. Mean Wizard, just a chill guy, really. And here we have Sean, Mr. I Retire for the 7th time. Truly a bizarre player. Nobody has retired more than this guy. Quick Chat 29. We all know this guy. Quick Chat, Quick Reach. I don't know who Steven is, but I think we should be afraid that he's here. Game should be starting soon. This is, well, obviously the fact that Barcelona can't play with 8 players on the pitch. I want to say this is probably the lineup we'll be looking at. Anybody else in the game, really, to look at? No. Probably going to be seeing Quick Chat and Bhutan Q in the center back position for München. Pikachu Gamer and Kilst playing the fullback. Sean and Felipe ZCV up in the midfield. Now then, because Barcelona is so strong, they just have 2 frozen mobs. Alright. It's like frozen mobs is such a good player that he'd be 2 places at once. Truly astonishing. With Domain and Ankara on the midfield, Exquisite Mercano and Caustics on the back line, and HG and Net. Now, we get to see the real star of the show, the referee, the flag man. This is the guy, alright? Most important guy. NTS over there, looking like a fool, as always. Oh, let me turn off my crosshair. I don't know how I managed to miss that. So we're just looking at nobody on the walk-ins, really. München now kicking it off to Sean, playing it over to Quick Chat on the corner. Seems like a early miscommunication about who's going to get the ball. Not what you really want to see this early in the game. München still managing to take control of it, playing it around in the back half now. München this game looking like missing Not Nice Norby, a real key aspect of their gameplay. Curious to see how they'll play without him. Barcelona now with 2 new acquired talents this game on Star and Frozen, definitely segmenting themselves as some powerhouses for this season now. München still just playing it around in their back half. Not a whole lot of action so far. Barcelona also running a tight press. Karstar now taking the ball with the slightest opportunity, trying to get it over to Frozen, seemingly just going nowhere. Now München with the ball. Playing it up to midfield to Sean. Two surrounding him. Tries to escape towards the right. Plays it over to the wing to Kills. Kills now looking for his options. Plays the ball back over the wing to Sean. Sean now one-on-one with Exquisite. Juggles past him. Domain here to help. He's got it too. Going for the cross. Almost connecting with the back of the net is Felipe. Quick shot now. Trying to take possession of it. Barcelona managing to regain it. Playing the ball all the way back. Looking like it's going to go out of bounds though. Fortunate mistake early in the game. Giving München a prime opportunity to score. Quick Chat is now subbed out for Not Nice Norby. A minute late to the game, but here nonetheless. Don't know what that was about. Like HG going for a through ball to Frozen. Seems like Crouton's going to get it though. Playing it back to Curse. Curse now playing it up to Norby. Do gotta remember that all our EU players are going to be on about 200 ping here, if not more. So definitely going to be a very interesting first half. Do also want to make sure everybody keeps in mind that not a single person in this game right now is on good ping due to the current state of Roblox servers. Nice Norby shuffling it over to the wing to Pokemon Pikachu Gamer. As expected, really, just a lot of passing back in their own half, trying to delay as much as possible. Nice Norby now dribbling in his box with one man pressing him. All the way at the corner now. Domain Wizard still pressing. Not Nice Norby just showing how much of a calm player he is. Just taking his one in his box. Pokemon Pikachu Gamer on the wing now with the ball. Tries to go for a through ball to Sean. Caustic's intercepting it, playing it back to HG. HG now sending it over to Mercano on the right. Great opportunity for Barca here. Nobody pressing him, just running down the lane. Going for the cross, goes straight to Kills. Domain Wizard trying to fight to get the ball back. Now it on Karstar in the midfield. Karstar taking his space. Bree on him, plays it over to Mercano. Dribbling deep into enemy territory, drops it back out to on Karstar. Karstar going for the through ball to Domain Wizard, unable to get it. Barcelona now retaining possession. Caustic's looking for his best option. Tries to give it a short to Ankara, connects. Not Nice Norby there to fight for it. Barcelona still maintaining possession. Sends it over to Mercano on the wing now. Mercano playing it over to Domain in the midfield. Two people pressing him. Goes for a through ball to Exquisite. Exquisite now taking the ball all the way back. Karstar in the midfield with the ball now. Two on him. Still just dribbling through the pressure, even on 100 ping. Goes for a sudden through ball to Domain Wizard, almost connecting. München just barely managing to clear the ball. Interesting movement by Barcelona there, going for just the short throw in. The ball bouncing off on Kara's chest. And straight out of bounds. Sean now playing it back to the GK. Like I said, it's really going to be an interesting game because nobody here is on good ping whatsoever. Barcelona now with a free corner kick. Exquisite taking it. Exquisite, known as a very good cross taker. Goes for a no curve cross. Everybody just shuffling, trying to gain the ball. Barcelona ending up with it after that pile-on. Oh my, Felipe is showing grit on defense. Reads the play and intercepts the pass to Exquisite now. München now dribbling down the wing. Not nice, Norby. Seemingly missing the ball, but Crouton picking it up. Plays it over to Pokemon Pikachu Gamer on the corner. Pokemon Pikachu Gamer cutting out and going for a cross, almost connecting with kills. Looking like they might still be able to maintain possession. HG fighting for the ball for whatever reason. Could have been very dangerous if the München was able to get the ball to someone who could shoot there. Would have been pretty much a free goal. Kills now just playing the ball all the way back. You can see now 66% possession, and it shows. Considering, you know, how much ping they're really at, I wouldn't say there's much of a better option, really. Playing it over to Crute in the midfield now. Shuffles it back over to the wing. Frozen trying to read that pass, but once again, with such high ping, you can't even really slide at the ball, so his slide's just going nowhere. Taking a second look at the stats. Not a whole lot of action from anyone, really. Antoine just, you know, just counting the butterflies he sees at this point. No need for him to make an attack. Orby now trying to dribble down the wing. Good opportunity here for München to do something. Orby now deep in enemy territory. 2 on him. What is he going to do with the ball? Seems like not much, as Domain Wizard, with the slightest opportunity, just bites and grabs a hold of the ball. Exquisite now dribbling up the lane. Barcelona is going to want to try and get a goal here quick now, trying to play it over to Domain Wizard. Bit of a bad touch, still maintaining possession. Sends it over on Karastar. Karastar taking his space, sends a through ball over to Volcano now. And once again, just very deep in enemy territory, but nobody able to do much with the ball. Barcelona now here with a cross, with a corner kick once again. Playing it feet over on Karastar. Mobs now, 2 pressuring him, shovels it over to the main wizard in the mid. Still just very tight pressure from München. Really just how you want to play the game outside of your region. Going for a sudden cross, München ready for it, intercepting it and playing it back over around their half. München just showing themselves to be a very calm and composed team right now. Just really just 50ing his way through there, but generally they've just been doing everything textbook. Just play it back around. Don't get too aggressive on your attacks. But although that cross was pretty bad, looking like München will still maintain possession though. Nice Norby now deep in enemy territory. Tries to get the first shot from München on target. Blocked by the Barcelona defense. Frozen Mobs now taking his one down the lane. Trying to see if he can get something off. Barcelona definitely wants to leave with at least 1 in this half. On Karstar trying to go for a 1-2 with Domain Wizard, still managing to take possession of the ball. Plays it back over around to Exquisite. Exquisite examining his options, trying to find someone. Plays it over Mercano into midfield. Costi now on the lane. Looking for his options, going for a cross, connecting with Frozen Mobs! That is the first goal of the season for Frozen Mobs. Barcelona managing to at least get 1 in these tough circumstances. I genuinely think that we might just see them be on the exact same ping when it comes time to go to a different region. Come on, Pikachu Gamer just wasting as much clock time as he can. München just picking their strategy and sticking with it. Can't say I really blame them. Playing it over to Crouton, missing his touch, ending up with Felipe. Felipe now sending it through to kills. Nobody on him at the moment. Just free to take a lane. Going for a cross at their own. Oh my god! Perfect placement on the cross! Sean just finishing it far corner, absolutely decimating HG in net. Main Wizard playing it over on Carl in the midfield. Barcelona is going to want to try and get at least one more goal with what little clock time they have in this half. Could very well be the last attack they have here. Carl start trying to break through the defense. Sean just showing defensive grit, taking the ball back, capping them on 200 MS. Mercano trying to slide to get back. It's not happening. Going for the cross, unable to connect with anyone. Kills now. Nobody on him. Free to get the ball again. Going for yet another cross. Barcelona saying they're still in this. Not letting up anything else. Frozen now with 2 on him. 3 on him. Peels off numerous defenders. Prime opportunity here. This is what Frozen is best at. Post out. Almost in. Barcelona now, opportunity for one more attack. Doesn't seem like the best option to me there, really. Just Mercano's there for a foot pass, and Costi is obviously on 200 MS. Now München finding themselves with an opportunity for a sudden attack. Oh my! Barcelona! München still fighting for it. That will be the end of our NA half. Looking at the stats here, really just not a whole lot of action, really. Just more just like shuffling the ball around than anything. I will see you all in the EU half. All right, my throat is still bugging me for a little bit, so joining us with commentation for the EU half will be a very known figure, MF David.
Hello. Hello. Important game we got today. Definitely important. These two teams I would consider to be middle of the table teams. You know, I don't think anybody really expects much competition from the other teams. RCM and Berlin have really been taking the attention of this game. But we still have competing teams, Bayern and Barcelona, both putting up great numbers in these scrims that we see them against the top teams. Especially, I'm looking at München. I mean, they have a great core that we've seen for almost 3 seasons now. That Norvi, Sean, Poke core that we've always seen from Carpi, you know. They're a very veteran-style team, and they stick with what they're used to. They stick with the players that they're used to. Picking up some new figures like Akko, that's a great pickup to me, in my opinion. Got him from Kurse and Philip. Those are 2 players that they both picked up from Celtic last season, and they've been working really well with this Carpi core, and I really am excited to see what München can do. Last season really surprised us against this Celtic team, and I'm thinking the same thing might happen to Berlin against München. But Barcelona.
Yeah, I know. I just want everybody to know, commentation actually isn't a word. Don't ever use that again. Commentary. Just had to correct you on that. I care about these things.
Oh my god. Alright, but what I was saying, Barcelona, yeah, they picked up the Mandarin transfer coming in straight from Beijing, Frozen Mobs, and I'm excited to see him. I mean, he's fresh off the boat right now, so he hasn't been performing to his Ballon d'Or level, but considering that he was one of, if not the top player last season, now seeing him as a new signing in this preseason is really exciting to see, especially against a defensive team like München, who boasts the likes of Crouton, former Taco defender Broken Salih, and especially help from Not Nice Norfi and their wingbacks. You have a really strong team going up against UE Barcelona, which was known to be a defensive team. Caustics, Domain, It's Me HG. I mean, most of their stars aren't really placed on their attack, but now with Frozen, we're going to see a lot more synergy coming in from that attack and defense coming from Barcelona. That is true. I don't remember who they did end up dropping for that. I think it was Jordan, wasn't it? In my opinion, that's an upgrade. I mean, you're replacing 2 really solid defenders, but at the same time, they have their own flaws for the Ballon d'Or winner to help your attack. They already have Costi, right? I mean, they don't really need that much help on defense. What they were really lacking on is that attack. I mean, we've seen games where their attack is eat it, Dorian, winner happy. They're suffering against these top teams, but now with somebody like Frozen, he can pull his own weight. Jesus, man. I don't know. Well, we're going to see UE Barcelona reclassing as an NA team, am I right? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I didn't expect that, considering that, I mean, Costi is the captain, and a lot of their core used to be EU players, but as you can see, most of those players have been switched out for people who work better with the likes of Domain. Mostly NA players, in Squizette, It's Me HG, Jason, even Mercano. We know he's not going to show up for almost any of the games, but when he does, it's a surprise to see.
Also, it kind of sounds like David's talking to himself. I don't know if you're aware, Senor, but your mic is muted on the stream.
Oopsie poopsie.
That's fine. I was just kind of yapping anyways.
Good luck, commentating team. Have fun, commentation name.
Commentation.
And it looks like we're starting our game off.
Once again, the most important man you'll ever see is that beautiful gentleman with that yellow shirt and his flag.
And we're looking at this new lineup coming into this game. I think it's around the same of what they were playing in NA, I presume, because we see a lot of the same people.
I don't actually expect München to change their gameplay in this half too much, honestly, with how they play. Obviously, now they can afford to be a little bit more aggressive in their own region, but generally the core of how they're going to play, I don't expect to change too much.
Exactly. Norby's known for these very slow building plays, especially with that double CM. We're going to see a lot of these build-ups coming in from those really well chemistry players. And looking at Barcelona, because they're on the EU half and tied, they really have to take a passive route here, try to work off those counters, especially with their defensive lineup. And just like I said, not much going to happen at the moment. We just see a lot of waiting for the other team to make a mistake. They can't afford to really risk it. Frozen being on the back end here with having his ping high up, they really needed a lead in the first half, and now unfortunately he's forced to take this 1v1 against them. He gets through with it. Oh my god, and it's a great attempt. What a mistake coming in from their center back. Crouton getting a bad read and letting Frozen go right through him. But like I said, it's not going to work on somebody like Penel, who was damn near close to winning a Golden Boot award last season, playing for Celtic, getting a lot of important saves for their team. And as we can see here, München just trying to find these gaps. They have the advantage with the player ping, and they're just working through this attack, focusing on those attacking players. And they have a cross in, and it's straight to Norby. And there you go. That's the chem that we're talking about. Norby and Sean linking up, and they take the lead with a minute into the match. It is not looking good for Barcelona. I don't know, senor. 9 minutes left, and
that's just like I was saying earlier. I don't expect München to change their gameplay too much. That's just the exact gameplay that, even with compared to other teams, they don't look like that strong of a team. But with just how they play, just really making up for it.
Exactly, and alongside that, having such a well-recognized core in terms of they know what they're going to do. They're in each other's heads, Sean, Norby, and Poke. They don't really have to. They have more synergy than almost any team that we see on the board nowadays. Being veterans for 2 years playing together on almost every team, you're going to see those types of chemistry plays a lot that are going to be missing from teams like Barcelona, who are full of players who have never played with each other before. But here we have an attack coming in from München. It gets snuffed out because of a missed touch. München not able to convert on that play. And I think that was Norby trying to go in for a play, but he was unfortunate. Costi is there. And he seems to just be holding the ball. Like I said, they really have to take advantage that Ankara and Domain are really good dribblers, and regardless of region. But it's going to be hard.
Speaking about region, like I said, with how the state of servers are right now, they're pretty much on the same ping that they were last game.
It's Cosette getting a little spicy with the ball, trying to take a zany touch, and it does not go through. Kills not even having to do anything, just getting the free inbound for München. Quick pass over to Philip. And, there's absolutely no pressure on München having the region advantage and the score advantage to really do anything. They can take that lead, and now their forwards, who are really good at holding the ball, stalling for position, just play this game out. Maybe take an attack if they see one, but they're not forced to, unlike Barcelona here. And as you can see, that's what Pokemon's most likely going to do. Find a rotation over here to Sean or send it back to Norby. Tries to force it through Ant. It doesn't work, but Norby's there with the pickup. Most likely going to lead to München keeping the ball regardless of the pressure. A little bit of confusion on the ball. Norby keeps it, though. And it's a center play. He's getting guarded by Costi, but
very
sends the ball a little.
Still maintaining possession. Just
Phillips
deep in enemy territory right now.
God. It's a wide shot on Winter Happy. I liked where the play was going up until Norby just gave up the ball. But they're lucky that Insquizette is just high on ping right now, unable to react to it quick enough.
Just want to say, we have right now in the fullback positions, we have the Docs duo. Anthony B and Aiden T.
Okay, I don't think we should say their legal names on stream, but I appreciate that you mentioned that those two wingbacks have a lot of experience playing together, and maybe that is what's helping Barcelona hold out just a little longer. But like I said, having this weak GK like Winter Happy and going against these players that have a lot of experience together, it's going to be hard for low-tier wingbacks to be able to fight against them. These quick passes coming in from Norvi and Poker, making it really difficult for Ant to read it, and it's a straight ball into Winner Happy, not guarding the near post, and that's another goal for Munchen. That's a 2-point lead with not even halftime reaching the point. I mean, what do you really do here if you're UE Barcelona? Do you keep playing risky?
At this point, I mean, it's like that's the only option they really have per se. It's like you can obviously now, with how it's set up in this season, you do have your goal difference you need to worry about a little bit, but at this point you just need to make the decision on whether or not just hold out, don't let them score any more goals, or be a little risky and try to, at least get to the position where you can have a draw.
I agree. I think Barcelona might be trying to go for a play here, considering that Costi's getting really aggressive with the ball, allowing Ant to be the primary defender. Costi trying to take his own team in his reins, make something work. He takes a double pass over to Frozen, and he's getting guarded by Crouton. He's in a triple space. He somehow gets a shot off. I don't know how, but he's guarded there, and unfortunately, Ankara is not able to recoup that ball. Easily taken back by Munchen. That was a really good attempt, and like I said, Frozen is the one who has to pick up the pace here for Barcelona. He had to do that entire play by himself with the help of Costi.
Yeah, just to really continue on that, Frozen Mobs is the player that if there is a shot that's possible to get off, he's going to get it off. Even surrounded by four there, the slightest angle, just unfortunate placement, but that's really just how he scored so many goals last season.
Yeah, and that exact offensive pressure is what Barcelona are looking for here. But Munchen trying to run in with their center back, Crouton getting a bit aggressive. Too aggressive, in my opinion. He still tries to take the ball from his own center mid, but it looks like he's run out of stamina. Now Norvi trying to find his way to finagle through Ankara Star. Doing a bit jaggedy of a touch that allows Pokemon to find the space in between Philip, and that would have been a great pass, but Insquisette not letting that go through with a nice offside trap. Game is starting to slow down for Barcelona. This is not what we want to see from them. They need to keep this momentum that Frozen created for them. That pressure that Anel was feeling has ultimately just dissolved completely, and now we're back to those same types of plays. Frozen trying to re-spark that Barcelona action, and Ankara takes an unlucky back touch, slid by the defenders of Munchen, and the play has been finished before it even started. In my opinion, Frozen should have just taken that one. I don't understand why he would have passed that off, but like I said, Barcelona need to try to make anything work here, and just Ankara did not follow through with that. Oh my god, Philip is making mincemeat out of Insquisette on this wing here. Domain having to come in to help, which means the middle is a lot weaker. Domain able to recover the ball though, and Kills playing an aggressive wingback position is able to get the ball away from them. With a great pressure from Sean, he takes a shot off a winner. A surprising save coming in from the B-tier goalkeeper. A point-blank shot coming in from Sean, and it's saved. Yet Munchen still have control of the ball. Domain having to put his entire effort into defending, leaving no stam for the attack. This is really stalling out for Barcelona. Although they are playing good defense, they need Domain and Costi's stamina in a good position to make these attacks happen. And Munchen, I don't know if on purpose, are really draining their attack and just trying to make it as hard as possible to make these plays happen. Domain, though, has a lot of space here. He's going to get pressured by Crouton eventually, and he's run out of stam to continue dribbling. He sends a far pass over to Sean, apparently, trying to get it over to Frozen, but he jumps up and stops it. Luckily, though, Barcelona still has the ball in their half. I don't know. I don't know how you can honestly break through this right now. You just have to pray that Domain and Frozen can get past the 2v1. As soon as I said that, they try to go for one, but Kills able to get a good touch on that. Because, unfortunately for Barcelona, their wingbacks are not offering much support. They're relying on basically one forward to do all the action because Ankara has been dropped back this entire play. It's looking bleak for Barcelona, really needing that extra help that they cannot find, unfortunately. I don't know, senor.
Yeah, I mean, because, as we've really just said earlier, the only thing Barcelona's really, I'd say, lacking in is just a competent wingback. I mean, HG and Insquisite can obviously, handle the ball to an extent. Insquisite, a player that's arguably one of the top 5, I'd say, historically in crosses. But other than that, they just don't have a wingback really just capable of handling the ball, especially putting on Karastar up on forward.
And I think that's what they're missing out right here. They need that support getting over to Frozen, and unfortunately, because the center positions like Domain are wasting all their stamina defending these aggressive plays from Munchen, they have none of that steam left for when they try to counter. And it leaves players like Kosti having to hand over the ball to Exquisite and HG, who are, to say the least, a bit less effective in controlling the ball. But Ant's going to take his attempt at it as he passes over to Ankara. It's a missed touch. Insk was able to get the recovery, though. He's going to try to find Frozen here on the wing. He gets it through a 50. Frozen finds a gap, and he gets past Kills with the slide. He has a chance here, but he's guarded by 4 people. He tries to juggle through them. Sean dropping back, though. He's able to stop that attack. One of the closest attempts that Barcelona's had, and like I said, it is just Frozen here on an island. It's unfortunate to see this team that, you know, with the pickup of such a strong attacker, just are unsuited to try to help him out on these attacks, whereas we have people like Norvi and Sean who are dropping back every play, yet they have enough positional advantage to where they can stay on the attack as well as defend. It's almost another goal for Philip.
Now, obviously, it's already almost over here, but I really would have liked to have seen them just, you know, well, let's see if they can get in the finish here, but really just would have liked to see them just dedicate stronger players to attack. You know, maybe move Kosti up to a wingback position and drop it. HG down to the center. But really just unable to create much of anything and have any sort of build-up, really just showing their only goal was in their own region off a cross at that.
And then you start to think about, you know, what they could have done with a player signing, like, instead of going for something more defensive, they could have gone for somebody to help them out on that wingback position. You know, they could replace one of these wingbacks. We know Barcelona's a defensive team. Maybe they could have gone for somebody even more attacking, replacing one of their B tiers, signing one of these free agents that are an attacker. Because unfortunately, you look at the roster that Barcelona has, it's almost all wingbacks. And as this game finishes out, unfortunately, UE Barcelona taking the loss. Not a terrible loss, but at the same time, they were stalled out the entire game. There was almost no hope. Their only goal coming in from a solo play, essentially.
Yeah, I really just do want to point out, though, with the unfortunate state of how the Roblox servers have been, it's really just an unfortunate time for an NA team having to, in their own region, everybody is on 100+ ping. So, and all the EU players are on like 250, 300, so it's really just, you have the problem of where you're on such high MS that it makes it hard to play, and the EU players are twice as reachy. It's just really just a terrible twosome.
I agree. Not a twosome, a pair. It's a terrible pair.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. That's what you have to point out. Like, you couldn't just keep it going. You have to point out the one choice.
But I agree with you. Barcelona's really struggling to try to create attack that whole game. Unfortunately, they can't be relying on these decent defenders. They have a lot of high to mid B tier defenders to try to hold them out so they can counter, because you're wasting players like Kosti and Kara on the full defensive side, leaving people who would be able to dribble completely inute. Because then you're left with players like Insquizet and HG on the wing who are wide open, yet they struggle to go against mid-tier defenders, like we saw that game against Crouton and Kills next door. Whereas if you had somebody like Ankara, he can make mincemeat out of them, especially in the NA half. But still, as this game closes out, I don't know, senor.
It's still, you know, definitely very early in the season, only the second game week. Barcelona still has the time to really just get themselves together, because I do want to point out that, like, for the last month or two, they've been just, you know, practicing with the same lineup, same team, but then all of a sudden, overnight, their entire core lineup, I could say, changed, really, going from Jordan and Nascat to Frozen and Ankara. I definitely do think that with some more time to, you know, really just lock it down, figure out what needs to be done, I definitely do think that they can become a lot stronger as a team, but really just an unfortunate start to these signings.
Exactly. I feel like we haven't seen the most of Frozen, especially because of the servers. He could have taken a lot more advantage on that NA side, but we didn't really see that, considering that Roblox is having issues, and UE Barcelona, a recently transferred team to NA, you know, you're still going to have some of those key pieces be on the EU side, like Kosti and your goalkeeper when they're happy. So NA really isn't your strong suit fully. Anyways, I feel like that's a wrap. It was a pretty short game. Yeah, we can finish it off.
Yeah, everyone, thank you for showing up for the stream. We do have 2 more games this week, both on Sunday. Hopefully we will see you all then and have, well, put simply, let's have some more exciting games. This one was pretty mediocre.